So what we're going to be talking today is recruiting and retaining women in building automation. I'm sharing some outreach activities to promote diversity and inclusion. My name is Dr. Deb Hall. I'm the principal investigator of an NSF-AT proposal and also Valencia College's Energy Management and Controls Technology Associate in Science Degree Program Chair. So since advertising reaches the minds and thoughts of millions, when you look at this ad for its time, what do you think it's trying to say? To me, it is targeted to women as the end user enjoying a technology's purpose, but not really understanding its development. Wouldn't it be interesting if this was what they were really thinking? Now women are actively participating in building automation systems related technical careers. And this is why we are meeting here today, to share some best practices in increasing women's participation in this amazing industry and to build upon those best practices. So diversity is definitely key to effective organizations of the future. I'm blessed to be working at Valencia College, which definitely embraces that idea, and also our Energy Management and Controls Technology Industry Advisory Council also strongly embraces the idea of increasing the diversity of our student population. And so much so, they've offered scholarships, full rides, in fact, to promote diversity in our program. So here are just a few ideas to recruit and retain women in building automation. One thing that Valencia has implemented is a mentorship program. You can establish that with your industry advisory council members and your BAS Tech students. It's an amazing opportunity, definitely to inspire and encourage your BAS Tech students to not only complete their academic goals within your program, but also just to grow and succeed to be an even more effective BAS controls tech. And then also one thing that we have made sure occurs within our program, within our mentorships, is that they last for a minimum of 2 semesters. So this is just something to suggest to you. Minimum of 2 semesters that allows enough time for the student and their industry mentor to build a strong relationship. Of course, meeting at least once a month, and then purely between the student and the mentor as far as how they want to meet. It could be via email, Zoom, Teams, or in person. And at Valencia, we also have a prerequisite for our EMCT students to enter the mentorship, in that what they need to do is to complete at least 3 semesters of their EMCT AS degree, which does include at least 1 semester of an internship that we have built into our program. And what that does is that solidifies our students' buy-in to our program. They've got some basic courses under their belt, and that just helps to further that relationship between the mentor and our BAS Tech student. Another great strategy is to hire additional female technology faculty members. So definitely this is something that Valencia College has been proactive in trying to do. So just wanted to share that idea with you. Also, what we've tried to do at Valencia is to encourage our faculty members and students to attend women in technology related events. And these events could be a Women in HVAC-R conference, or perhaps Society of Women Engineers, also known as SWE conference. You could encourage them to attend the Women in ASHRAE meetings that usually occur at the ASHRAE conferences and at the AHR Expo. A very powerful way to inspire not only your faculty members, but your students. It's just, I know just from my own personal experience, after these conferences, when you come back, you're just more energized and excited about what you're doing. And as you can see in this photo here, scholarships are given out to students that are involved in BAS tech programs. And so it's a win-win across the board. Another strategy is to create a student club that is related to some sort of a female professional networking organization. So some suggestions are Women in ASHRAE or Women in HVAC-R. Society of Women Engineers is also a great club to begin at your college, or IEEE Women in Engineering, or even a Women in Energy club. So the idea is you're bringing together your students outside of their classroom. Of course, they're networking within the classroom, but then outside of the classroom, they're becoming involved in clubs such as ASHRAE, where they are networking not only with each other, but networking with industry folks. They might be attending field trips to check out, different places they possibly might want to work one day. They could be doing community service, and there's Habitat for Humanity. I mean, there's so many things that they could give back to as a club. And so it just promotes just an incredible buy-in to not only your program, but, that it helps with that retention. The student just feels empowered, and it's a win-win. So that's another great strategy. Also, definitely providing your students with resources such as internships that are required for degree completion, or networking opportunities, tutoring sessions, scholarship opportunities that could be related to tuition or certification exam costs. We've basically tried to include these, within our program. We definitely have a built-in EMCT internship. It's required. Students will not graduate with their AS degree unless they've completed an internship. Scholarships, I mentioned earlier, we've just been really blessed with some incredibly supportive EMCT industry advisory council members. And these companies have donated literally full ride scholarships to promote diversity in our program. And so that's such a win-win. This is an example of a scholarship flyer that we hand out. So when we do any sort of booth outreach and we're handing out flyers about our AS degree program, we also are putting in the hands of any student that walks by one of these flyers. So the idea is just to walk them through the process of how to apply for an EMCT scholarship. And this is just an example of some other ways that Valencia has also just tried to proactively recruit females through marketing. And so, and our different marketing materials could be program flyers, web pages, brochures, banners, trifolds, posters, you name it. We're trying to put a female on that particular material. And it's just powerful. So this is an example of a poster. We actually hand these out when we visit local area high school counselors and principals. So we give them posters to put up in their counselor's office, so, the idea is just, exposing the students that they interact with. And of course, what's important is you're also letting the high school counselors know about your program, which is pretty powerful. It's an example of a brochure in the past that we've handed out. This is a screenshot of our website. Feel free to check out that website anytime, because there's way more than this on there, but the idea is it just kind of shows you that we're definitely trying to incorporate female images everywhere we can. So this is our latest brochure that we're handing out at our booths. Females and males, right? There's definitely guys too, but the idea is we're just trying to show students that, diversity is key and anybody can be successful as a controls tech. And so this is an example of our booth. So when we have different outreach events, notice, right, our trifold, we definitely have some females on there, our banner, the flyers, brochures that we hand out. And then this is basically a point in the presentation where we're going to swing right into looking at some outreach activities. And one in particular is our BAS Tech Barbie and her smart, energy efficient Barbie Grand Hotel. And so notice we've added her onto our booth, And this is just a short video to highlight a little bit more about this particular outreach. Welcome to our Building Automation Systems, or BAS, Controls Tech Barbie, and our Smart Barbie Grand Hotel. My name is Dr. Deb Hall. I'm the Program Chair of Valencia College's Energy Management and Controls Technology Associate in Science degree, which was funded by our NSF AT grant. And part of our mandate with our grant was to increase the number of female students in our program, as well as the number of veterans in our program. So to address the attempt of increasing the number of females in our program, we've come up with an outreach event that targets specifically females with our Barbie Grand Hotel and, of course, our BAS Controls Tech Barbie. And let me tell you, it's been a success. We have quite a few females that come to us regardless of what outreach event that we're doing. This definitely gets their attention. And so some of the things that we share with the students when they come up to our particular booth is we share with them that our students in the Energy Management Controls Technology degree program, what they do is they learn about mechanical systems, they learn about electrical systems, they learn about computer programming, they learn about networking and cybersecurity. All of this so that they can make a commercial building like our Barbie Grand Hotel not only energy efficient, but also secure. So that's why we also teach students networking and cybersecurity. So for this particular hands-on activity, we have students basically warming up a thermistor. And as they warm up the thermistor, this would activate a fan. We allow students to not only see the real-time changes, but also we encourage them to program, right? So they can get in there and actually change the Barbie Grand Hotel to whatever temperature and then engage with the input to trigger the output. We also teach students in this particular activity about the relationship between temperature and resistance with a digital multimeter and, of course, another thermistor. All right, and so what students learn is that as they warm up the thermistor, that the resistance drops, and then of course as the thermistor cools down in the ice bath, right, then the resistance goes out. So they learn that it's inversely proportional. And so again, this is just an example of one way that Valencia College has proactively tried to increase the number of females into our Energy Management Controls Technology Associate in Science degree. And perhaps this could be a great way for you to also maybe think about bringing females into your program. Good luck and have fun. All right, so let's jump back in. So some other outreach activity ideas that we've implemented is to become refrigerant and jump into the refrigeration cycle. There's an image down here highlighting that. Also, we've conducted an outreach activity involving human energy consumption and technological versus primitive man with junk food. And that's always a fun activity. Of course, the students are very disappointed when they realize that all the junk food boxes are empty, but it's still a fun and very hands-on type of event and powerful. They realize, oh my gosh, technological man, consumes way more energy than ever primitive man. And it's just very fun. Zero carbon living. They do a virtual smart home tour. They play Kahoot, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Just a fun, hands-on, engaging game. They learn about solar-powered fans and cars, flying saucer snap circuits. I mean, you're probably getting the idea. Hands-on. Hands-on is key. Maglev vehicle racing, built wind turbines, build squishy circuits and squishy aliens. I love this photo. This is an example of the girls' final squishy alien. They just had so much fun. And then also building a solar suitcase for the developing world. So this is a little image from that. So we've just tried to get a lot of just hands-on activities, out there and then targeting, it was like 4th to 8th grade, right? And this is a screenshot of the refrigeration cycle. This is one of the presentation slides from that hands-on, they're jumping in basically they literally become refrigerant, and it's just a great, great hands-on activity. And if you're wondering why the heck, why are we even trying to target this age group? This is really important, and a lot of folks maybe don't realize it, but the age of 9, that's a very critical time in a girl's life. And that's when a girl's confidence level typically is going to peak, age 9. And then after that, it's a nosedive. And this could explain in part why it seems that girls do consistently perform better than boys in math and science up through the 5th grade. It's quite an interesting bit of research that, feel free to look into it more. But this is why we feel that by focusing on, targeting girls at the, younger ages, and just letting them know about the positive impacts. And that's really what we try to emphasize in these outreach events, is the positive impacts on both the planet and to that girl's personal life. That if they were to pursue a BAS industry related career, that just opens doors of opportunity. And our hope is that this is the perfect time when they have that, strong self-confidence, that we might be able to plant some powerful seeds that could impact their future career path. And so some other student targeted, this would be middle school to adult outreach ideas, so a little bit older. So we definitely have a lot of booths that we set up at veteran career fairs and electrician apprenticeship, as well as HVAC/R apprenticeship networking events, industry partner conferences, technical college career fairs, high school college fairs, and middle school STEM outreach events. So the idea is, if you have any female students currently in your program, make sure to invite them along as you are visiting these different places to help you woman your booth, because nothing is more powerful than actually hearing from a student in your program, in particular if it's a female student and you're trying to do an outreach to younger females. It just speaks volumes, because they first off, our students are just really cool looking, so to the younger crowd, they're like, oh my gosh, you're so cool, and what, you're studying this career, oh my gosh. So definitely, if you've got some females, make sure to bring them out to any of your outreach booths events. And this is just kind of an overview of locations that we've conducted a lot of our activities. And so definitely, elementary schools, middle schools. At the University of Central Florida, we've been out there doing, it's the Expanding Your Horizons. It's a STEM type of a program that we've participated in. Girl Scouts, don't forget about your Girl Scouts. Right? We've had some great outreach with the Girl Scout Engineering Saturday programs, literally at the Girl Scouts of Citrus facility right here in Central Florida. Society of Women Engineers, they have a lot of events out in local middle schools, your technical colleges. We've done a lot of great outreach with the HVAC and electrician programs. Of course, STEAM Rock, so that's science, technology, engineering, art, and math, right? We've done a lot of hands-on workshops at so this is the Academy of Center for Excellence in downtown Orlando, so it's definitely a lower socioeconomic type of a learning institution, and we've had some amazing outreach programs there. And of course, right, elementary schools, junior achievement. If you've got a junior achievement group in your part of the world, definitely reach out to them. We've had some amazing outreach events, and junior achievement, they bring in thousands of 8th graders to these events. So that's why notice it's not happening at a school, it's happening at an event center. I'm not kidding, like in one day, 4,000 middle schoolers were exposed to our energy management controls technology program. So if you've got junior achievement on, somewhere near your school there, definitely reach out to them. And then of course, we also have conducted outreach events right here in Orlando, Florida at Valencia College on our West Campus. A lot of fun with the parent 5th grade daughter tea hands-on activity workshop. And T is an acronym for Technology Engineering Aptitude. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. You can see actually the agenda for that particular activity. So just want to point out two critically important groups. So parents for sure, and then high school counselors. This is something that often these groups are overlooked when we do outreach and we're just focusing on the students. But these are two groups that you definitely don't want to forget about. And this particular event, our parent-daughter tea, we truly did serve tea in teacups with saucers, and we let the girls take home their particular little, teacup as part of the souvenir of the day, and they loved that. And, they had all these really cool hands-on activities, related to STEAM. And what was the highlight, I think, of both parents and their daughters. And by the way, parents and daughters were participating together, right? Doing all these fun hands-on activities. And at the end, what we did is we brought in some Society of Women Engineers, so SWE members from the local Central Florida area, to come in and address questions proposed by both the parents and their daughters. And that was amazing, because for once the parents were actually able to ask these questions of females currently in technical related careers to just find out, what would life be like for their own daughters one day. And it was amazing. It was just a great activity. And so just to remind folks, don't forget about the parents. Don't forget about your high school counselors. They definitely have a powerful influence on the career paths of your females. And then the slide is just to highlight some maybe unexpected outreach locations that you could consider, where you're, currently living. If there's any foster group homes or long-term residential programs for survivors of sex trafficking, homeless shelters for women and families, or boys and girls clubs, definitely reach out to these folks, set up some hands-on activities. I mean, we've had some amazing outreach experiences with these particular groups. With the foster group homes for children and young adults, I actually, after the presentation in that particular one, we talked about solar suitcases for the developing world, and then talked a little about our energy management controls technology degree. And one of the facilitators commented that there was a girl in our particular, in the outreach, that she was so excited about the idea of having a technical career and just what we were doing. And it was something that she had never, ever had, spoke of before, or, it's like she came out of her shell. And so, and these are just things that you just wouldn't consider, but it's amazing. I've had some amazing experiences. And then this is just to show you that, right, what we've done with our survivors of sex trafficking. We've put together basically just some directions of how to apply for a scholarship. So notice this is free tuition for any degree, not just energy management controls technology. But KB students is Valencia College's sort of code for survivors of sex trafficking. So what we do is we hand out these flyers along with our EMCT AS degree brochures, and we put them in backpacks that, are handed out. They have all sorts of other supplies and things that are handed out to survivors of sex trafficking, by the local police and such. And so this is just a way to show students, there's a future beyond the trauma that you've been through. And I love that Valencia offers something like this for these students. And, perhaps your college does the same thing. So just want to kind of highlight that, and just as an idea. And so concepts to emphasize when doing K-12 outreach. So, as you are reaching out to, the younger crowd, right, the age 9 and above, you just want to really make sure that, you're emphasizing they've got the power to make the difference. It's a team effort. You really want to make sure you emphasize that, there's no lone rangers in the world of BAS technicians world, that it's a team effort. Believe it or not, even fourth and fifth graders are concerned about money. So it's not too early to emphasize that society always is going to need technicians. You're going to have job security. Definitely mention that, as a technician, you're involved in making all, basically, just exciting, cool stuff. And, and you're the first to be there. So, great things to emphasize. And also just wanted to highlight a couple of things. So make sure you try to use some technology, right? And maybe some fun videos to engage a student. So, if you're trying to think about, how can you keep their attention? Kahoot definitely works. So there's a link to it. It's free. What we've often done is we'll show the best centers video, which highlights BAS tech. And then before we show the video, we let students know that they're going to be playing Kahoot afterwards. And of course, that gets all the students their attention, and they're like, oh, Kahoot. They know Kahoot. And so then it just makes them more engaged. They really want to listen because they know they're going to have this fun game at the end, and they want to succeed. Also, there's a couple of videos that we've shared in our outreach that it seems like the students just love. And so this Mr. BAS video is about 7 minutes long, and Energy Vampire video about 2 minutes long. And I just want to show you about 1 minute of this Mr. BAS video, just to kind of connect or channel with your inner 9-year-old. So just see what I'm talking about.
Welcome to Johnson Controls. Our building houses a number of employees who work in different departments and on different projects, but who share the need for comfort, safety, and productivity. Meet Jim. When he arrives for the day and swipes his badge on the access panel, a series of signals get sent via the building automation system. Faster than pneumatics, more powerful than a simple thermostat, able to keep everyone comfortable with meticulous precision. This is Mr. BAS. Mr. BAS will guide us through our journey of interconnected systems and show us how the parts of a building automation system can help you manage your building. Welcome to a world that moves 1,000 times faster than our own. The world of building automation.
All right, so if that was enough to get you interested, by all means, check out the rest of that video because it's fun. And with that, just like to open it up. If there's any other outreach ideas to share, thoughts, questions. If right now you're kind of overwhelmed by all the crazy stuff that I've shared, later on, if you come up with a question, by all means, feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to share whatever resources. If you want details of any of the outreach activities that I've presented, I can give you it all. Matter of fact, I'll also put a copy of this presentation for the Best Center to have at the booth. And so you'll be able to download that as well if you're interested. And so with that, any questions?
Yeah, Deb, really good information. That I didn't realize how many different things you were actually pulling into this effort. It's incredible, just phenomenal. We had one person ask a question about, these are a lot of great ideas. How was this outreach? How are you reaching students now in this time of COVID when everybody's having to be hunkered down?
Yeah, great question. So what I've been doing is similar things to what we're doing right now. So I've been involved with some Zoom type of outreach where, we'll I mean, it's not perfect, but it's worked. I have a video of the Barbie hotel that's pared down more for just the students, and so we'll show that. I've got a virtual tour of our EMCT lab, so we'll fly around the lab and talk about all the cool equipment. But yes, so it's been a challenge, but we've been making it happen to the best that we can. But yes, looking forward to post-pandemic times for sure.
Um, Another question that came up was, does your college have a marketing department, and how much support do they provide you for this stuff?
Oh, yeah, great question. We have an amazing marketing department. So what they've provided is assistance with the photo shoots, like for all of the students, those images that you saw, those are Valencia students and Valencia faculty and staff members. So they've helped with the brochures, the posters, making sure, we've got the logos where it needs to be and all that good stuff. So they've been instrumental.
Yeah, and that's good because I know like at MATC, my college, they provide some support, but it's kind of sketchy, it's not as much as I'd like to have. So that's good. Another question for you. Are there activities you've seen that are perhaps more appealing than others, you know, or ones that you're really surprised by the results?
Yeah, so I think what bubbles up to the top is BAS Tech Barbie. I think that has been the one outreach that, I mean, literally, I wish that, there's times in your life where you wish like you had a video camera mounted to your forehead. It was that kind of a moment. I mean, middle school aged girls running to our booth. That has never happened pre BAS
Yeah.
technology. I mean, I'm it's like, this is so cool. But yes, so I think they, for whatever reason, part of it I think is the gamification, just when you open that door to, what, this is fun and oh, I'm learning too. Oh gosh, okay. I guess I'll learn because it's fun. And that just is powerful. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking in the chat area and I see you already reached one 8-year-old person, daughter of one of our fellow network people. So
Excellent.
I'm gonna have to send her down towards you. Um,
Awesome.
there are comments too about loving the BAS Tech Barbie in the chat. Um, so some others here. Have you documented all these hands-on activities or some for the younger age groups? You have them documented in a way that can easily be grabbed onto by others?
Yes, I definitely have. Yep. So, that's definitely been part of our NSF AT grant
Okay,
is, and so yes, we've got all of this fun stuff. So by all means, if you're interested, let me know.
just give you a shout out in the email, right?
Yes, that's perfect. Yep.
Um, do you think that girls perform better in a STEAM approach than boys rather than STEM, as opposed to STEAM?
Um, Further clarification, what do you
STEAM,
mean?
STEAM includes the arts.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
that's
just STEAM versus STEM as far as that.
right.
Okay.
Do girls perform better than boys in that area?
Okay. So, well, so the way I approach that is it's, I feel that STEAM or having the arts involved is actually been there all the time. We didn't even realize it. Um, but you really need to be someone who can think outside of the box to be successful in any sort of science, technology, engineering, math career. And so to me, having that ability to kind of step outside of the box and look at something in a kind of a different perspective, I mean, that's powerful. And that's that creative side. And so, I think girls and guys both, uh, succeed in that. So it's, yeah. But what's interesting is by bringing in STEAM rocks, we're really like pointing out that to students, and the students know it. They know what STEAM is, they know the acronym already.
Oh,
So
they do. Okay.
yeah, they get it. But so when we do our hands-on activities with STEAM rocks, we always bring out that idea of, what you just design, that wind turbine, you know, you're connecting up your solar panels in series or parallel and get your fans, you know, running faster or slower. You know, you're being creative, you know, you're thinking outside of the box, and you know, that's the art, you know. An engineer is creative, and just really driving that home, I think, is key. And that attracts boys too, though. But you know, because I've done outreach with, you know, the mix, and but yes, for a lot of students, they just don't realize that there's that creative mess, you know, there's creativity is required. And so I think that does get their attention. They're like, oh, okay. You know, so you're not just some geeky engineer that just fits in the box or whatever. You know, you're a creative thinker. You've got to be in any sort of technical career.
So when you're developing these different ideas, do you follow any process to do this? Because you have just a ton of different things in there. Is there any type of development process you go through on it, or?
Um, well, like with the refrigerant cycle, so actually the
Mhm.
image you're looking at right now, you know, this is you know, this is part of that activity. It was when I was at Orange Technical College in their HVAC training program, and, you know, trying to learn myself about the refrigeration cycle. That's kind of, you know, when I was thinking, you know, what would be a way to bring this alive for students? You know, I guess that's where you would start, is whatever um, concept that you're trying to teach. Uh, you know, you really want to think of, you know, how can you get the students moving, but and, you know, engaged, but
Mhm.
also learning whatever that concept is. And so for me, I was like, gosh, you know, let's just become refrigerant. Let's actually, you know, transform ourselves, you know. And so yeah, it's I guess it's just thinking whatever the concept is that you want to convey to your students, you know, just try to make it come alive. You know, how can you get hands-on in there? And what's kind of cool is when you invite your BAS Tech students to help out, you know, for them, it's powerful because, you know, yeah, they got it by, you know, they understand the concept from, you know, reading it in a book or whatever, but now they really get it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's, you know, when you put it in this context of, okay, now you're walking around the refrigerant, you know, refrigeration
Yeah,
cycle, you know, I mean, it's powerful. Yeah.
and you get that feeling of being condensed and then expanded back out, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, so you have a lot of resources here. Your curriculum, as it is is that something you share? You're willing to share with other people?
Definitely. So our curriculum, actually, if you swing by our Valencia College booth, our EMCT booth, you will, yeah, we've got all of probably more than you ever wanted to know about our curriculum is there. So yeah, definitely we've got it. And if, you know, if you want even more, we can present more, but we already have stuff, you know, ready to go if you want to put it in your, I guess, the briefcase that you have, you know, the
Yeah.
virtual briefcase. Yeah.
And if they don't quite get it from there, they can always reach out to you email wise. And that's one of the things about the Bestseller Network is that we do share as much information as we can, right? We're
Yep.
all willing to give each other the information. Or as one of our members says, he likes to steal ideas from people, laughingly, right? So that's about all the questions I see in here
All right.
at this point. Just take one last look. Oh, I'm not quite sure. You have any activity curriculum that you share? I'm not quite sure what that, if what difference between that and just curriculum in general is. What is there? Does that hit a bell at all with you? Ring a bell?
Um, so yes, any of the, you talking about the outreach activities, I definitely can share details about
Okay.
whichever ones are interested, by all means. Yeah.
All right. And I'm not seeing any other questions. So I think we had quite a few there. Um, I guess I had one here. Just what's a good first step in
The
trying
first
to
step.
reach out to not just women, but in general,
Yes. Um,
from your perspective?
so if your state, so in the state of Florida, we have something called Teach In, where middle schools, elementary schools, they literally open their doors for one time a year. So literally it's on one day a year to any industry professional who might want to come in and share about whatever they're doing. And so that was actually my initial kind of experience with outreach is I
Yeah.
just, picked a middle school that happened to be pretty close to Valencia College. So I knew that, this would be a feeder school. And then, you know, walked in there, had a presentation set up about, encouraging, uh, females to get into engineering and technology and our VS tech degree. And yeah, that kind of opened the door. And what's ironic is at the very beginning of the presentation, so the way teaching works is you're just randomly put into
We're at that 410 mark, or I mean,
what
210
was
mark,
that?
by the way. We're over time, just by the
Oh,
way. We're
got it.
gonna
Okay.
wrap.
Yeah, that would be one way is if there's any sort of invitation, into a public school to speak, that would be a great thing to start.
Okay, good. Well, if you have other questions of Dr. Hall, you can go to her booth at Valencia College and speak with her there. Otherwise, thank you, Dr. Hall. It was
Oh,
great. And hope to see you soon.
all right, you betcha.